Greetings
and salutations. I'm Jacqueline.
And I'm Maggie.
And we're both in film.
In fact, we met in our film and video production classes at the community college.
Right.
And we read this history, right?
Her story. One of the two. Yes. Yes, it is.
Yes, history or her story.
Yeah. I use that, matter of fact, in some of the dialogue in one of my scenes. Yeah, we filmed. We're in film. We met at is it OKCCC, but they call it O.
I think nowadays they're OCCC. Without the K.
And I think we were probably the older ones in the class. These were a bunch of younger guys, and
a few younger gals.
And it was 90% male, you know, in those classes, and we were able to hang in there with them. One of the first classes that we took was the equipment. Something.
Yeah, he brought in John Schreier to show us an equipment truck.
Yeah, he did.
And he loaded everything off
the arms on it.
And there's a jib arm, you know.
Yeah, that he made.
The camera up.
Exactly. Yeah, so that was very interesting.
And one of the most exciting things in film class was when we would hear word that there was going to be a shoot somewhere, and it seemed like such an exciting, romantic thing.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, where could we possibly go on that shoot?
Yeah.
Do you remember your very first shoot that you got to go on?
Very first shoot.
Or one of your first shoots?
Yeah, I remember.
Was it indoors, outdoors, or
it was actually both, but I did a lot of the worked on a lot of the outdoor shooting. And one of the places I can recall was countrysides and little small towns. And one of the things that I remember the most, I didn't participate on because I had worked on the previous day. They went to do a jail scene in a little town of Guthrie here in Oklahoma.
Historical town. Yeah,
very historical. And they got permission through the resources to use the jail cells there. And as a result, you know, they had to play guns and everything. Well, through the inexperience, as I'm told, that they left the play pistols inaccessible where the prisoners were. And the prisoners got a hold to the guns and was attempting to do a false breakout, but unfortunately,
a false breakout.
They were able to stop that, but it was a big thing. Just the idea of the concept of the possibility, and at one point, it probably would have worked. You know, it probably would have worked. I don't know. But you know, that following day they talked about it, and it was a big laugh and that type of thing. Yeah, but they would shoot they completed the scene, and of course there was no prisoners that escaped. So that was pretty cool. What about yours?
Well, mine was Sean Early's Moonlight.
Okay.
And I think it was around 14, certainly no more than 20 minutes. Maybe it was just 14. It was somewhere in that range.
I see.
And it was freezing. It was in the winter, and one reason I remember the time is they said that if we don't get this shot on this, we have permission to use this town street and block it off after the business is closed. They're going to put up the Christmas lights on Monday morning, and then we can't use it anymore because our set will be all disturbed and it's not a Christmas movie. So we were out there. It was freezing, and they had to build a little tent to house the craft services, which is the food that you give to the actors because generally they're not being paid. So
correct.
The least you can do is
many of those. I remember many of those.
Feed them and keep them warm with hot chocolate. So it was exciting. It was more like an endurance thing. Like if we could just last till dawn, then we could go home.
I remember a lot of those. All those hours, but it was fun.
It was way fun.
Tiring, but you know, it was fun.
And I think there were I'm trying to imagine, in one of the scenes, it seemed like there was at least 40 people out there. So they had some so-called townspeople, some children.
Extras, I do recall that. That was fun. It was fun. And the results, you know. And and by working on a film, you always got to eat, of course, meet new people, network, and you got a copy of the film that you worked on. And that was a little bonus thing, and
that's worth a lot.
Your name in writing, you know, what area that you were working in. That's pretty interesting, But now we're ready to try to do our own films.
That's right.
Maggie and I are working on a project now that we're trying to complete, and many more, and especially for women in film. In film, you know, we want to be up there with the other sisters that are doing it too.
And there's surprisingly a lot of people are working on films. You don't hear it a lot. You hear about the ones in California, I suppose, that these are independent movies.
Right,
and
right.
For the grassroots people, that would be like us, take matter into our own hands, and with as Sharon Butterfly says, with whatever cameras we can lay our hands on, it doesn't matter what kind, just whatever we can find, and then we
get it out there.
It's a good philosophy.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait around for certain conditions to be right.
And now, so, you know, I remember when you would have to send off to various places, you know, and hoping that it's going to get in the right hand through that person that knows that person.
Your DVD or your tape or your VHS.
Yeah. But now we have what you're looking at now. You have MySpace, YouTube, and hopefully get enough hits so people get interested and want to find out more and maybe want to do some of our work, you know. But it's a great tool right now that's very, very open for us.
Yeah.
It's not expensive either.
No,
you know?
It's not.
That's the thing. Money. And I don't know which hand it is, but it's money. Yeah.
The mirror image camera. You don't know which hand you're holding up.
Yeah.
But that is a nice thing about digital. You know, once you've purchased a camera or you're using somebody's camera, or whether it uses tape or a chip,
right.
You have no further expense. You reuse that tape at least 25 times.
Yes.
Or you reuse that chip, and YouTube is free, and and you don't have to be mailing DVDs here and there like we used to.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I mailed a DVD.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's very cool. So we hung in there.
Yeah, we're hanging in still, you know.
Yeah.
And don't worry, you're going to be hearing from us. You're going to be seeing more of our work. It's most definitely.
So tell me what it is that you most recommend to people who are interested in doing some independent filmmaking, or what you most like about it as a hobby or a profession.
Independently, total control. Being able to, you know, present what you are and what your work is about, and not be dictated to or having to change or anything like that. Just, you know, put it out there, raw as it is, or edit, you know, independently. I think it speaks for itself. Freedom to you know, put your soul out there.
Because unlike Hollywood movies, I was learning that they all have to have the ending has to happen a certain page, and the hero has to be introduced by a certain page. And everything. But when you're doing independent movie, there's pretty much no norm.
Right.
So that's the good and the bad of it.
Right. No set guideline. Yeah. And if it's longer than expected, than in the norm, I guess, if it's good, the people are still going to watch it. They're still going to watch it. Yeah.
And I was going to say, what I like about video is, or filmmaking, whatever, is that you don't have to lock yourself into a certain area, like be only a script writer, or only a videographer, or only an editor, only an actor, only a whatever, because a lot of times on a small movie with a few people working on it, you might do all of those things.
Right. 9 roles.
As needed. If somebody doesn't show up, you might be doing more than
True.
you usually
It
do.
happens.
Yeah.
It will happen. Yeah.
So
it teaches flexibility as well.
flexible, yes, makes you flexible.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Well, I enjoyed talking with you, Jacqueline.
And likewise, Maggie.
Yeah.
And look, guys, you're definitely going to be hearing from us. That's for sure. So you stay tuned and don't forget these faces and definitely the names. I'm Jacqueline.
I'm Maggie.
And here's to you, more power.